So we're here to answer everybody's questions. And this week, our question is from a 64-year-old man. My marriage is solid. My kids are launched and doing well, but I'm feeling a little lost, a little anxious, and slightly out of sorts in my life. Should I get therapy, a coach, or wait for it to pass? Rob, what are your thoughts?
From experience, it will not pass. Every now and again, you need help, whether it's therapy or a coach. We'll talk about it, but get some help to get you out of it for sure.
I think you need help as well. And I think there's a big movement in men seeking out other men that have similar issues. And there's lots of groups that are available for that.
Let's get into this a little bit. Have either of you guys experienced something like this, being a little lost and having to reach out for help?
Yeah, it's coming from a man. I've been in, therapy. I've got a new coach right now, and I'm really excited about because you just need a little help, right? It's like Roger Federer, the best tennis player in the world, had a coach, right? Every now and again, you're not really aware of what's going on in your life. So get a little help, whether it's a coach or therapy, experiment, explore, but absolutely get that help.
Susan, what are your thoughts on this? Have you experienced anything like this?
I think I have. I think when I began my physical transformation, I was at a big low. And I think finding a physical transformation coach for me was a huge help. And then that led me to finding a tribe of like-minded women, and you could reach out to them. And when you find that you have these people that think like you and feel like you, I think it could kind of lift you out of something like a depression. I don't know that it's the entire answer, but certainly helpful.
I love that. That is a huge thing, right? You're not alone. When you start getting into these funks, or I start getting into my funks, sometimes I feel like I'm alone and have nobody to talk to. Those groups are key. And I'm really a big fan of coaching because they hold me accountable, right? When we go through our program, we go through the exercises, she busts my balls to make sure that I'm doing them. And for me, that's important. The accountability from a coach, fabulously important.
I think what we're talking about here is essentially mental health. And for so many of us, I can speak for our gender, men, this idea that like we got to tough it out or it's going to pass or no, guys. Like the Surgeon General has said that loneliness kills more people than smoking. So no reason to suffer and tough it out. Go out there, seek some help. See what you can get. Coach sounds like a good idea to me. Susan, you use coaches with your physicality.
I did. And then I moved on to get a spiritual coach. I had never done mindset spirituality before. And one of the things about having sort of a spiritual life coach is that you start to focus on the wins in your life. And it was something that I wasn't doing a lot of. Instead of looking at what made me sad. And I start every day like that, focusing on my wins, my gratitude, what's thriving in my life. It's not always easy, but certainly changes my mindset enough to attract happier things.
Rob, would you be okay just giving us like an example of what your coach is holding you accountable to?
So what Susan was talking about, when I start thinking negative thoughts, that I have to reframe them. It's the same information, the same thing that's going on, but I just focus on reframing it to a positive instead of a negative. Instead of playing the victim, I'm the hero. Instead of saying, oh, this sucks, this is what's the lesson, right? And it's hard work. And we're talking all the time. And so when we talk, she holds me accountable to doing that. And with time, it gets easier and easier and easier. So it's not like every minute of every day anymore. So now I'm having those wins. Exactly. Having that sounding board, having that accountability really is helping change my mindset for sure.
Absolutely. In my recollection anyway, this is sort of the life coach or the spiritual coach. These sort of things are somewhat new, right? Like, I don't know, last 10 or 15 years, there was like therapy way back when, but this is something different. In my experience, it's really great. Just having like somebody there who's on your team. Like you were saying, Roger Federer has somebody, he has more than one coach, I got to tell you.
Oh, I'm sure.
He's got a whole team,
Yeah,
and
sure.
why can't we avail ourselves to an equal amount of help? Susan, any closing thoughts on this?
Oh, gosh, no. I think that, like Rob said, it's a verb, it's an action. You have to step forward and say, what do you want in your life? You can't just sit there and be a victim to whatever. I mean, I know depression is far more complicated than that, but definitely take some steps to see if you can change the mindset at the very least.
And you're not alone. I had this one coach tell me, I'm telling him, this is what's wrong, and I got these issues. And he looks at me and he goes, Rob, you're normally fucked up. Don't worry about it. We can fix this, right? So don't stress yourself. Don't beat yourself up over
I
it.
think there could be some debate about the normally fucked up. I just want to put that out there. But
yeah, that is up for question.
Most of us, I think that's right. So seek out the resources. There are resources online. There are people who are local. Maybe you work better face-to-face. Maybe you work better like we are digitally here. A lot of ways to do this. No reason to suffer. Go out there and find some help.
Absolutely.
Guys, thank you so much. We'll see everybody next week. Take care.